Hi, I'm Benton Stokes.
And I'm Elane O'Rourke.
And this is Cocktail Theology.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We have just about reached the end of 2022.
Yes, we have.
Quite a year it has been.
It's gone really fast.
Hasn't it, though?
I'm sort of startled by that. I think it's because we've been working so hard that it just kind of zipped by.
Yeah, I think so. There's just, I don't know. It seems like this year has been so busy and it's gone so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've accomplished a lot this year.
We have.
And this is the last episode of our season 3. 34 episodes that we've recorded this year.
Wow.
So exciting.
And we had done like 48 in the multiple years before that, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
you were such a taskmaster.
Spreadsheet of things and then the...
Good golly.
I know. I really have been a taskmaster this year.
So painful. But you poured something sparkly.
Yeah, so we are celebrating, cheers, with French 75s.
So what's in this delicacy?
So a French 75 is a sparkling cocktail. It's kind of got two main parts. One part is gin, lemon juice, and simple syrup.
Okay.
The other part is sparkling wine, and that can be Prosecco, it can be Brut, it can be Champagne, it can be whatever sparkling wine you want to use. This happens to be 19 Crimes Cali Gold, which is Snoop Dogg's limited edition, I guess, sparkling wine from 19 Crimes. The gin is, I know, Tanqueray Rangpur Lime. And then it's just a simple syrup that you made and some fresh lemon. That's it.
I like it. I think it could stand up to a more pungent, powerful gin, honestly.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Okay, so the next round we'll have to use something more punchy.
I think we have some Empress in there. I don't know how that would be.
We also have actual Tanqueray, because I got some actual Tanqueray.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah, so that could be fun, too. That could be fun, too.
Fantastic. But I thought something sparkling would be nice to celebrate the end of a year and the end of a season.
It has been quite a year. So what is your resolution for next year?
Well, I don't really do resolutions anymore.
You don't?
I don't.
Why?
Why, you ask?
Why, I ask?
Well, the big reason is because resolutions tend to be shame-based. The problem with resolutions for most people is that we break them. We don't achieve the thing that we resolve to do. So a lot of times resolutions, center around fitness or losing weight. I'm going to go to the gym, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to call my mom every Sunday. I'm going to read a chapter in the Bible every day, and these resolutions that we make. And then it's just like you get, halfway through January and you're already kind of falling by the wayside. And like you're too tired to go to the gym or you don't feel good or I just really need this cookie in my life. We make these resolutions because we think we're not somehow good enough. We're not okay somehow. And sometimes, resolutions are well-meaning. But I think that anytime we make a resolution that's based in I'm not good enough, and then we can't live up to the resolutions because we get really ambitious with these resolutions and we can't live up to it, then we feel even worse.
Okay.
Because it's like, wow,
I couldn't even do that.
I couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
So I think if we're going to look at next year, and there's certainly nothing wrong. I've been looking at next year and thinking about what do I want to accomplish next year. I think it's totally fine to take a look at the year and say, there are several things that I haven't done. You call it a bucket list, call it whatever you want to call it, but there are things that I haven't done that I wanted to do or I want to do, things that I've thought about this year that I just really want to take time to do next year, and then to sort of make a plan to kind of achieve some of those things. I think that's great.
Okay.
But I think when it's all like based on something about yourself that you think is inherently bad or wrong or not good enough, I think that's where resolutions can get really hard.
Yeah, because you're not actually resolved to do anything, right? That idea of resolution or resolve is all about willpower. Our willpower is never as strong as our habits, our body inclinations, our shaming ourselves, all of those things. It just isn't. I think there's also something inherently counterproductive to choosing a date to do something that is intended to be life-changing. I mean, setting aside something that has a ritual to it, like marriage, which is a wedding, not a marriage, right?
Right.
If it isn't about a particular ritual event that requires that ritual in order for it to happen, then what you're really doing is saying, I can't make these changes in my life today. I'm going to plan on doing it on this particular date and put so much weight on that date.
So much weight.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to get down to 10% body fat, the way to do that would be to not drink this.
Right.
And then go from there, rather than saying, well, you know what? For the next however many days it is before New Year's, I'm going to just debauch. And then on New Year's Day, well, I'm going to fast for 3 days, and then I'm going to eat celery for 2. And then, you know what I mean? It's such a twisted way of thinking about how humans work, because we are habitual, we are bodily things. And the way to change what we do is to break those habits of mind and body, which is different than just, gritting your teeth and getting through.
Absolutely.
When I used to work out seriously, I would go to the gym, because I was going to the gym every day, just on the way to work. I would go to the gym on January 2nd, and you couldn't find a parking space. It was horrible, horrible. So I'd go earlier and earlier and earlier. And then right around February 7th, the parking, it was like you could park anywhere, any time of the day. I'm like, okay, all right, New Year's is over. Excellent. I'm going to get back to work. But it's that, right? I mean, it just doesn't work. Yeah, some years ago, I decided instead of making a resolution, because I knew I wasn't going to keep them, like what was the point? I would try to pick something that I'd never done that I thought I might enjoy doing and do it, right? I remember very clearly the first one of those things I picked was going to live opera.
Oh, wow, really?
Because I thought, okay, I like getting dressed up. I love opera. I've never been. I'm going to do this. And so I try to do something like that every year. Like, okay, what's something I haven't done before that I might enjoy?
I like that.
It's a fun one. And then if I don't do it, my life goes on. There's no damage.
Right.
I don't feel bad about myself. It's just, wow, I guess that wasn't as important to me as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What do I want to try this year?
Right. Exactly. Well, I think a lot of these resolutions, they start kind of from this place of shame. And I think part of not falling into the trap of creating these resolutions that inevitably most of us fail at is to begin by being kinder to yourself, looking at the thing that is bothering you, whether it's, we'll just pick on weight for a minute. So I'm a bit heavier than I used to be. I'm a bit heavier than perhaps I would like to be. So I could say, well, I'm too fat or whatever, and I just need to do something about it. So then go on some kind of crazy crash diet and be miserable while I'm doing it, and then ultimately fail at it and then feel even more miserable that I didn't lose the weight or that I couldn't achieve the goal. But instead, kind of looking at myself with curiosity, looking at myself and saying, okay, I'm an age I've never been before.
Yes.
And bodies change with time.
Yes.
The standard for a man my age isn't the standard for a man in his 30s, or even a man in his mid-40s.
Right.
So I might want to adjust my thinking, first of all.
Okay.
Secondly, am I healthy?
Yes.
That's a problem if I'm not healthy. Then that's something I deal with my doctor, and we figure that out. But he's not going to put me on a crash diet.
No.
A doctor's going to teach me a healthier way to eat, perhaps, tell me maybe stay away from these foods, or maybe don't eat at these times a day, or do this differently. But a doctor's not going to put me on a crash diet. So if I'm healthy, then I can figure out, well, what in my lifestyle might I be willing to adjust in order to lose a little weight? And that thing needs to be sustainable.
Yes.
It needs to be livable.
Yes.
I can't be miserable doing it. In the past, when I've lost weight, I've chosen to give up things like French fries or mayonnaise and sodas and things like that. Well, some of those things some of them never really made it back into my diet. Like I drink very few sodas. But But it's like those were things I could live with at the time. It didn't feel like really I was sacrificing very much. And I did lose some weight, you know. Or maybe it's I build, walking into my schedule.
Right.
And I start walking regularly. I enjoy walking, but it isn't something that's currently a part of my regular rhythm. So it's something I would have to build into my rhythm, which means starting a new habit.
Yes.
But not attaching the weight to it as if it's 35 degrees and raining and I need to go out and walk today.
Right.
Not feeling that pressure to do that, but saying, you know what, I think I won't be walking today.
Right.
I think I'll just walk tomorrow.
Right.
And not feel bad about myself and not come down on myself because I didn't walk today.
Right. Yeah, I really like what you're saying about that. I was thinking just in terms of the walking piece, if it's 35 and raining, I can go up and down my stairs 4 or 5 times. Mm-hmm. Be creative about it. Maybe I could have a dance party in the kitchen.
Yeah, a dance party in the kitchen, I like that.
Right? Mm-hmm. So thinking in those ways rather than saying, here's this thing I must do because I resolved I would do it. Mm-hmm. The thing about habits, too, is habits are always both, well, not just both. They're body, mind, spirit, soul. They're a connected environment. They connect to all of the parts of us.
Yeah.
And so simply saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day, for example, doesn't change any of that stuff. The most it will do is kind of force you to will yourself to do something, and then you might change your schedule to make that happen. Mm-hmm. But that's it.
That's it.
Right? So the only way to create new good habits is to actually pair them. So the thing that you don't particularly want to do, but that's good for you, pair it with something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you never get a chance to listen to our podcast, for example,
yes,
and you want to walk more, you can reward yourself by listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
That was not a hint. But that's the only way habits work.
Yeah.
I mean, habits have to have a benefit with them immediately. There has to be something that reinforces it. And then you have to work really, really hard at talking back to those voices in your head.
That's such a huge part of it.
It's huge. And sometimes it's shame, and sometimes it's just, I can't, or I won't.
Sure.
Or I've never, or I'm too busy, or the world will fall apart if I, right? Sometimes just talking back to those things is plenty of resolution.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Just learning how to hear when you are defeating yourself, when you are listening to voices that are usually your own, but may also have resonance with authority figures in your life, or sometime when somebody said something to you that hurt so much that it rings in your ears. It's dealing with those things.
Yeah, that's huge.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the way to make the kinds of changes or to achieve the things you want to do is to be easier on yourself, more curious about who you are, why you do the things you do, and what you might want to achieve.
Yeah, and I think it is about looking forward, absolutely. And I think it's about not getting stuck in old ways of thinking, because the fact is we do change. It's not just our bodies that change. Our mindsets change, and our lifestyles change. And there's all kinds of things that we adapt to. So we aren't the same person that entered this year.
Absolutely.
Going into next year.
Yeah.
There were experiences that I had this year that were amazing, and I want to do more of that. So now it's like, how do I build more of that into my life
How do we get back to Hawaii?
How do we get back to Hawaii? Yes. But for instance, I just finished an album. It's taken 1.5 years to create, and it's coming out in February. And I'm already writing for the next one because I want to repeat that experience, only I'm fine-tuning the process. I'm being super intentional, and I'm really drilling down on how quickly I do this. So in the year of 2023, I want to complete this album.
Okay.
So that means writing, producing, singing, recording, mixing, and ultimately releasing a 10-song album next year. And that's not because I feel pressure to do that.
Right.
I'll be okay if I don't. But I so enjoyed the process of creating this record that I just want to do it again.
Yeah.
And I think the best way for me to do that again next year is to just be a bit more intentional about it. Another thing, was that I did some co-writing this year, and I want to do more of that next year. It's been over 10 years since I've done any co-writing like that, and I forgot how much I enjoy it. So I want to do more of that. You know what I mean? If I don't do it, it's okay, but it's something that I want to continue to try to do, and it's something that I want to intentionally build back into my life and into my schedule.
Which is very different than having a goal of, I will co-write 8 songs with 3 people by November.
Right.
Right. One of the things I love about this goal for you is that it is coming out of changes in your life you've made over 3 years. This is not suddenly, I'm going to get another album out. You have refocused your life, changed it in certain ways, gotten out of a bad relationship, just kind of all these things that set you up for more creativity.
Right.
And more energy and more joy.
Yes.
And because you've got those things in place, the album's just another thing. It's just an outcome of the creativity and the health and the joy.
Right.
Which I love.
Right. I like the word outcome. I think we should aim for outcomes rather than setting a bar that's difficult or sometimes even impossible to achieve. But instead, let the good things of the fruit that our lives bear come as an outcome of everything else that's already good.
Oh, yeah. So maybe one way to go about it is, if you're kind of like love the resolution thing, is to look back over the last couple of years and see what has been going well. And maybe aim to lean into that a little bit.
Yeah.
Not try to change everything, but okay, what's been going well? What has been good? Where have I felt good about things? Or what has been productive? Well, suppose I did just a little tiny bit more of that.
Yeah.
Let's see how that works.
Absolutely.
Right? It's the trying things on, which of course we always emphasize. Try it on, see if it fits, give it a shot. Spend some time at it because it's hard to build new habits. But just try it on. This may not be the right time for that or whatever.
Yeah.
Or it may not be who you are.
Right.
Right?
Right. But it's worth a try.
It is. Very good. I'm going to get down to a lean body mass of 10% by March.
Wow.
I know.
And that's just going to be an outcome of what exactly?
of the way I live my life anyway.
Oh, okay. Listeners, we love hearing from you. This is our last episode this season, but we still check our emails all the time. So if you're in March of 2023 and you're listening to this and you have a thought or a comment or a question, bring it on. You can email us at Elane, E-L-A-N-E, or Benton, B-E-N-T-O-N, at schoolforseekers.com. Also, while you're at it, if you would go to our website and sign up for our mailing list, we would love that because we have things coming up next year that we would love to share with you.
Subscribe.
Couple last things. We have a book, Daily Contemplations for Misfit Christians. We would love for you to go on Amazon, find it, buy it for yourself and lots of friends. It has a companion journal. It's affordably priced, and we think it's special. So we hope that you will make that a resolution next year, that you're going to, take 2 minutes and read one of our entries every day. We would love that. So as this season is winding down, look for season 4 to begin probably in March. And we have some special things in mind for next season. If you have ideas for episodes or even for cocktails for our episodes, please drop us a line because we love to know about those. The second edition of the Spreadsheet of Things is happening very soon.
It's just more work. Stop making spreadsheets. Benton, stop.
I resolve to make more spreadsheets.
No! Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Bye.